Welcome to Let's Be Real 100%, where we are 100% real about life. We know that life happens and we are here to talk about it. And when I say we, I'm talking about it's all God and little old me. Join us as we jump into our topic today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people. How are you doing this morning and going into the afternoon? I just wanted to come on here and say thank you again for supporting me by listening to Let's Be Real 100% when we're 100% real about life. And we are definitely here to talk about it. Last episode was about Welcome to Parenthood. Um, this episode is technically about having children with HIV. It could be a scary thing, but it's not as scary as as people probably say it could be. Um, Again, you all know my story if you go back to the episode about my diagnosis and how it came about. You can listen to it on YouTube on Let's Be Real 100%, or you can go back to the couple episodes before to grab this story. But just a small portion of the story. I contracted HIV back in 2008 due to a, um, how would you call it? A, un, I guess a relationship that wasn't supposed to happen. I'll just say it like that. And in a mindset that was not in a good place. But yes, it was back in 2008. Um, it was like 3 or 4 months prior, maybe 3 months prior while I was pregnant. So it was 3 months before I had my second child. So that would make me what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months pregnant. Um, while this relationship was going on still. Um, and to get the diagnosis then um, was not very fun. Um, I can track it back to then. I got the actual diagnosis um, when he was probably about 1 or 2, maybe. So it took a while for um, me to know, only because I wasn't one to go to the doctor all the time. I was the last time I went to the doctor is after I had him, and that was pretty much it. They didn't do any blood tests or anything like that for me, because I'm sure I would probably figured it out then um, that I was HIV positive. Um, but thanks be to God, to all the believers out there, that he was not affected by the decisions that I made. So I'm happy about that.
So, with that being said, it was definitely an interesting journey um, with having the diagnosis after he was born. I was definitely quick to get him tested to make sure he was good continuously that first year. So, he does not have any um, records of that. So, that's a good thing. Um, and the crazy part at that time, I was not taking care of myself at that moment, as far as, of course, going to the doctor's offices, going to pre checkups and medications and all those things. Because at that time, it was not a good, I was not in a good mindset to take care of anybody, let alone myself. So at that moment, I was staying with a teacher of mine. She was helping me um, get my life together um, at that moment. But just knowing that I had the disease, pregnant with a child, can be a bit scary at the point, because it's not just you that you are taking care of, it's the child that you are taking care of. And even after you have the child, you still have to take care of the child and yourself. But it's not about you anymore, it's about, you both. So just knowing that he came and he was good. Secondly, I do have 2 other children after that. And during those times as well, it was not easy because I didn't like taking pills. I just did not like taking pills. It just was not my forte. But they continuously to push me to take care of myself. And I did have good doctors at that time, even though they were switching up like crazy, switching up medications, switching up everything. Like every doctor was saying something different, so it was quite annoying. Because first of all, I'm already confused in my own life. But to have things change with different doctors, different nurses, different medications, different everything, and to also not have someone you can actually just really talk to know what you're really feeling. Because if you're talking to your doctor, they're going to just talk medical jibber jabber to you, and it's going to be like wah 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 in your life, right? Because it's like, okay, here I am now. I don't heard all this other stuff. Now it's starting to really just sound like jibber jabber medical wise. Nobody just really broke it down to me and like, okay, boom, this is what this is. Let me talk to you on your level. I didn't have that. I did have family or whatnot, but again, at that time, you feel like you're by yourself because again, you don't feel like you have somebody to talk to. Even with my spouse, I didn't feel like I could talk to him only because it's like you really don't understand. Like I'm sitting there talking to you, and you still don't understand, right? That's my mind. That was my mindset. When I was having my other two children. So I felt like that with a lot of things. But to know that my children all came out healthy, there are ways to have children with HIV. It doesn't have to be a scary moment. Even after I had my daughter, I had a scary moment only because I was like, I didn't have a scary moment as far as her getting the disease or whatever, because I was taking care of myself while I was pregnant. The last two, I was like, doing my best for sure. But it was like, go ahead and tie my tubes. I don't want to have no more kids. I don't want to risk any other child or anybody coming in this world with a disease or living with the mistakes that I made on a daily basis, because it's not that child's fault. It's mine, But again, to know that I had the caretakers that I had were doing their best to take care of me even when I wasn't taking care of myself. To know that I had that team there, and then to also, want to take care of myself, because again, it wasn't about me anymore. But again, thanks be to God, none of my children, the last three, was not touched by HIV. There are medications that you can be on while being pregnant, and then also medications that even after you have the child, to help protect the child and protect the mother as well. So there is medications, there is doctors, there is ways of having children while you are being diagnosed. So don't limit yourself, because I did limit myself when I got my tubes tied, and everybody was jinking me like, you just got them tied, and after 7 to 9 years, they can always slip and be untied, and it's like, I'm kind of grateful that I didn't get it completely taken out, because I do still, on the crazy part, I still do want a big family, whether it's through adoption or to have another child. I mean, I know the world is going bonkers right now, dealing with everything that's going on, but I believe God can do whatever His will is to be done, and again, even through adoption, because I've always been that one to love kids. I've always had, somewhere around me there were kids, and I adopted them all in my own little world. And my kids know that. They be like, well, how many kids you do have? Like, baby, I don't even know. I can't even keep count with them all because there's so many. But just know in this topic, don't limit yourself. Even when you get the diagnosis, your life is not over. You can still have the family that you desire. You can still live your best life with the diagnosis, with children as well. Ask questions. Go to your primary doctor. Ask questions. Ask him or her, what options you have. And there are options. So even if your partner has the disease and you don't, be that one for that person, him or her, because it's not easy walking this journey by yourself, because we're already stigmatized. We're already deemed as dirty, or deemed as already dead, because they always say it's not a cure, or you can expose someone else by different things, and all the information that you have grabbed is technically not true. You will have to really go and do your own studies on what HIV consists of and how it's transmitted and all that stuff, because people have a real bad understanding of what HIV is really about. And I'm currently doing my own studies on what HIV really is, because I've heard so many negative things about it. It is a negative thing, yes, because it lives with you, but it doesn't control your life. That's why we have God, for sure. And we also, He gives the doctors the ability and the understanding of, how to take care of you. And then we know that the body has a way of healing itself, because that's the way He made it in the beginning. So we have to trust Him and to know that we're going to be okay. We have to do our part as well by taking care of ourselves, by doing what the doctor says, or doing what's right for our bodies and what's right for our families, because they are there. It doesn't just affect you, it affects your family as well, and the ones that are around you. So again, don't limit yourself on being scared to have a family and having children, because it is possible. I'm a living witness that it's possible, even when you're not taking care of yourself. But take care of yourself. Don't do what I did. Please don't. But again, a family is possible. Having HIV and having children is a blessing, because you have something to look at, to live for. Looking at that child in the face, whether they're young or old, saying you made it through this. So be encouraged. Go have a relationship, get married, have children, have the best life that you can have, if this is not a death sentence. And know that you are not alone. Again, thank you for coming back and listening to another episode of Let's Be Real 100%, where we're 100% real about life. Come back for the next episode, where we'll be talking about HIV and marriage. Again, thank you again for coming to support and listening, and we hope to see you next week. Thank you for listening to Let's Be Real 100%, where we're 100% real about life. We hope that you enjoyed the topic today, and we hope that you trust God more and more each day. And we hope to see you next week.